So I usually wake up around 7:30. As soon as I wake up, I make sure to make my bed as it creates a sense of discipline and success at the very beginning of the day. Once I do that, I start getting ready, giving myself 30 minutes to freshen up with a shower, check my overnight notifications, and other things of the sort. If there are important emails, I usually leave them unread so that when I get to my desk, it's usually staring me in the face. Once I'm fresh and at my desk, I start my morning dump, which is essentially my to-do list for the day, and I will go more into depth with that at the end of the video. I do so by listening to a 15-minute or so podcast about the news, Up First by NPR, just to make sure that I'm aware of what's going on in the world. So I usually do about half of my work before I go to the gym in the afternoon, and I'll do the rest afterwards. The first segment of work usually consists of the heavy stuff like reading or research-based work, when I still have the energy to do all of that. Some of the things I do are like data gathering or research, reading for my research group, or over the summer I would be in my internships workshops and taking my physics notes and other things like that. Today I was doing some contact information gathering because I'm the outreach director and needed to contact some people about partnering with them. I also did some reading about intrinsic calibration on cameras for my research assignment. So right about now is usually when I go to the gym, so here's a quick little edit to see what I do.
One time for the city that we don't love.
So post-workout, I have another shower, a high-protein meal, relax for a bit with some TV, like Friends or Big Bang, and then get right back to work. During this segment of work, I usually have lighter amounts, so like meetings or sending emails, managing my fitness website, and over the summer, I would probably be doing my daily assignments for my internship or physics during this portion of time. Since it is a lower intensity work, I take the liberty of having some YouTube or something a little distracting like music playing on in the background while I'm working, just to keep me a little bit more upbeat. Lately I've been trying to get back into reading since school kind of sucked the joy out of it for me, so I take about 30 to 40 minutes at the end of my workday just to relax but keep the brain active. Right now I'm rereading the Percy Jackson series since it is where I first fell in love with reading, and I'm trying to recapture that spark. If I'm not reading, I would be playing guitar for that same amount of time because it's another thing that I used to love but could not find the time to do in college, and I want to pick it up again. After reading, I take Shadow, my dog, to the dog park to give him some exercise and some social interaction. It sometimes serves as a secondary cardio for me, but today it was mellow and it was just me and my brother meeting a bunch of the other dogs and petting them as we sat.
But yeah, that's essentially a typical day in my life. So I guess to answer the main question in the thumbnail, how I do all of this, there's a couple of ways. The main thing that I use is this idea of a morning dump. It's basically a to-do list, but it's got a little bit more to it. The idea comes from Ali Abdal. His link's in the channel, really helpful guy. He doesn't know me, but I just love his videos. And what the morning dump is it's basically a to-do list with 3 things that I highlighted. One is obviously called a highlight, where you emphasize one thing that has to get done in that day, no matter what happens, that has to get done. And the reason you do that is it kind of provides a little bit of a structure, in the sense that if you try and get everything else on your to-do list done before you hit the highlight, you're going to get everything done efficiently and quickly because the highlight has a deadline and that has to be done. But if you make sure that it's the last thing that you do at for the day, then all the other things on your to-do list actually get done. So you become a lot more productive just by that virtue. And the other 2 things that are in the morning dump is something that you're grateful for and something that you want to let go of. These 2 are just to kind of emphasize positivity and kind of provide a little bit happier perspective every morning on things that you have that maybe a lot of people don't, or something that you want to get rid of, like negativity. That's too generic, but like self-doubt, and it can be repetitive, but it's just something that you want to emphasize as a goal for the day, to kind of let go of self-doubt and kind of boost that emphasis of positivity and confidence in yourself. That's the whole idea. And then with the to-do list, you just write down everything that comes to your mind, anything and everything that you have to get done or you think you want to get done for that day. It can be stuff that's later down the week, but if you have time for it, just put it in your list. And you want to accomplish, like I said, as much as you can in the, like, before you get the highlight. It makes everything very structured and efficient. That's what I've noticed. It's very helpful too. And as for like my energy and motivation, that's just this like self-taught idea that if I don't do it now, I'm never going to, and if I don't do it, someone else will. And that bothers me, because there's so much I want to achieve in life, and I know so many people do. Like, having goals is something everybody has, but when I keep emphasizing this idea of if not now, when, if not me, then who, if I just keep emphasizing that in my head over and over again, then I put myself in a sort of self-induced competitive state, and that's when I start working really hard. So I force myself to go to the gym, because if I'm not gonna go, then someone's gonna like outlook me. And I know that that's like very, very self-centered. But for now, it's what works. You know, I'm not saying that I'm the best. I'm not saying I'll ever be the best. There's always places for people to improve. But in my head, it's just that I don't like being beaten at something that I could have done. It's not a matter of just being beaten in general, because there are people who are better than me at things that I probably haven't even touched yet, right? But if it's something that I can control and someone beats me just because I was lazy, that's what's gonna, you know, really tick me off. So that's kind of the mentality I go at it with. The other one is this idea of mine, which is like actually my original idea. I've never seen it across anywhere, and it's very, when you hear it, it makes it's very obvious. It's this idea of 100%, where you only have 100% of yourself to offer. And I know that makes sense, but like when you think about that, you only have 100%. So there's only certain amounts of yourself that you can devote to things. You can't devote 100% of yourself to studies and still expect to have like a proper sleeping schedule, a proper workout life, eating, a relationship, social life, none of that. So you have to start, it's like an idea of budgeting, but you have to start mapping that out. Like, if you claim that you are 100% studies, then you have to be willing to accept the fact that you're not going to have a good schedule, you're not going to have a good social life, you're not going to eat well, you're not going to have like the dream body that you want. And it just comes down to an idea of priorities. So anyway, pretty sure I've rambled on, but that's how I do it. It's just an idea of I don't want to be beaten, and a to-do list. That's quite literally it. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and a comment on what I can improve. This is obviously my first, and there's so many ways that I can, and I'd love to do that for you guys. Consider hitting the subscribe button, because I do want to keep posting more content to help people just navigate this horrible and messed up place we called planet Earth. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.